Hello and welcome to the Season 2 Gossip Girl recap. Just a warning, it's just as bad as Season 1. Worse maybe because they don't seem to have learned the lessons and fixed the issues with Season 1. Like the low-stakes storylines that are quickly resolved within a single episode, so they seem pointless. Way too many antics and not enough substance or nuance to most of the characters. Having the teachers being so heavily involved again was a mistake. Well, you'll see. I don't know though, I'm still kind of rooting for this annoying show, so here we are. By the way, I have a complete Gossip Girl Season 1 reboot playlist if you want to catch up but don't feel like rewatching the season. Anyway, onto the video. So remember Jules wanted to revitalize Gossip Girl? Well, yes, it's the new year and she's collecting tips and Gossip Girl is back. Jules is the one receiving all of the tips. Aki, Audrey and Max are still in a throuple. Remember they agreed to be equal partners in a real relationship because Max wasn't feeling valued as equal. Audrey and Aki are kind of iffy about going public with their throupleship, but it's too late. Gossip Girl sends out a blast about them. It's only rumors though, so Aki and Audrey think that they have a chance to turn it around and deny it or hide the true extent of their relationship. Zoya and Jules live together now. Remember, since Jules' dad left, they have the usual sister petty fights about bathroom times and Jules' wardrobe that takes up too much space. Zoya is a bit of a mean girl as usual. Jules wants to explore who she is without social media. She wants to maybe go to uni and get an MBA. She also gets along really well with Zoya's dad, so Zoya sulks about that as well. By the way, Jules is a little bit hypocritical because she is running Gossip Girl behind the scenes and not telling anybody. Jules is not fully into the influencer thing anymore. Whatever happens, happens, she says. Monet and Luna are still determined to have her be Queen Bee. They've put her on the list for the Debs ball this weekend that Monet's mother is running. Jules agrees to go because she thinks it'll look good on her CV. Apparently Deb's balls are a little bit more progressive now. Zoya is unhappy about this because she thinks these are antiquated rituals, so expect some drama there. The teachers are still going to have a storyline this season. I'm dreading it. Kate wants to go to the Debs ball for some reason, so she's cooking up a plan. Max is hurt by Aki and Audrey wanting to stay in the closet, but they aren't ready to come out yet. Zoya is still friends with her chaotic new friend Shan, I think. I don't like this. So the throuple go on a date at Max's suggestion, but it's stupid antics from Audrey and Aki. I think one of the problems with shows like Elite in the later seasons and this one is that they don't give couples and pairings enough time to even experience some happiness before the issues set in. Like not even a single episode's worth. It's basically hook up, then antics right away. It all happens so quickly that there's no time to really even enjoy the relationship, so you end up not really caring or rooting for the couple anyway. Zoya wants to turn the Debs ball into her next crusade because one of the girls isn't allowed to bring a girl date. She almost becomes giddy about this because now she feels justified and she has a plan to possibly sabotage Jules' big night in some way. Kate's snooping in Monet's mom's room with a new teacher with whom she has a rivalry. I also kind of hate that the teachers have all this access to these supposedly exclusive events. They're mostly scamming their way in, but they shouldn't be there. Anyway, the Debs ball basically descends into absolute chaos. Girls fighting, tearing dresses, hair pulling. Jules' father shows up and tries to make amends, but she wants none of it. Monet decides to come out at the ball, and she decides that she's going to break the rule of bringing a boy date. Her mom is the mean lady from last season, and she tells Monet that she feels shame and is embarrassed to look at her. So it's very clear in the scene that Monet's mother was more bothered by the fact that her big first exclusive fancy event was derailed. And her mother makes it clear to her that she has always been disappointed in Monet. So had she not come out of the closet, I feel like this would have been the outcome. Monet coming out of the closet might have added to her mother's disappointment in her, but this isn't explicitly mentioned. Her mother is fairly evil though, so we can be forgiven for suspecting that maybe some homophobia is at play here. It was heartbreaking to see her break Monet down like this, but this is a solid storyline. Max gives Aki and Audrey an ultimatum. He says he doesn't want to be in the closet anymore. Later, he says that he's okay with waiting until they're ready. There's a lot of back and forth over these first 2 episodes. Zoya admits that she's jealous of Jules and they kind of make amends. Luna and Max have been low-key confiding in each other. Please don't ruin this. This is a great friendship and I'd like to see more of it. At the end of the episode, Monet finally declares war on Jules because she says that she's been wasting time trying to get Jules to the top when she doesn't deserve it. Monet wants to be queen of the school. Episode 2 opens with Max hooking up with a bunch of randos. Obi is with a girl. I mean, what else would he be doing? Having an actual storyline? No way. Anyway, he's avoiding school and his friends. Zoya is spending time with her new friend's family. She sleeps over there without her father knowing. Jules was gracious enough to cover for her, of course. Apparently Max was hooking up with all those other people because he's pretending to be single. This is their way, the throuple's way, of throwing Gossip Girl off the scent of the three of them being in an actual relationship. It doesn't work though. News gets out that Max actually ends up leaving his dates before anything really happens. He just makes out with them. Obi comes back to school. Monet wants the hierarchy back at the school, so she's on a proper campaign to snatch the crown that Jules doesn't really have anymore, doesn't even want anyway. Monet can do no wrong though. Zoya's dad, Nick, finds out that Zoya's been lying. She's grounded, but then Shan invites Zoya and her dad over to dinner with her family. They try to make things a little less rich for Zoya's dad, but they don't know that normal people don't have their drinks out of red Solo cups at the dinner table. Cosplaying poor people is not going well. These are some really weird rich people. Like, you really telling me that they thought that Zoya's dad would be more comfortable with paper plates at dinner? Anyway, now we know why Shan is so annoying. It comes from her parents. Kate and the new teacher are looking to take down Monet's mother, or, the power structures in general in the Upper East Side. I don't really care about all of this, even though Monet's mother is thoroughly a villain. Jules sabotages Monet's big important dinner. It's strange because Monet is tripped up by some of the questions from the reporters. I thought she was Blair smart, like headed to an Ivy League. I need to know more about her. Jules ends up being outed as a sabotaging mean girl, and that becomes more of a story than the fact that Monet was kind of a flop. Good. Anyway, later though, we find out that it was all set up by Monet. She guessed that Jules would come for her, and she wanted that war. There are a couple of other storylines, but they're so low stakes, silly, and resolved within the episode, I can't. There is a very cute story about Max's parents potentially reconciling though. Remember, they're in the process of a divorce. At the end of the episode, the throuple ends up deciding that they're ready to come out, and they tell Gossip Girl. They also walk into school hand in hand. Monet also finally gains a foothold in controlling the school, so Julian is in trouble. Anyway, that's it, the first 2 episodes of Gossip Girl. I'll probably do weekly recaps, so if you've seen it, feel free to share your thoughts, and thank you for watching.